I'm Heather Nugent. I volunteer, I travel, and I try to make a small difference in the most responsible way wherever my adventures take me. Welcome to New Orleans, a city known for amazing food, friendly locals, great music, and good times.
Hello, Sean. Hey, how you doing?
I say New Orleans, like New Orleans.
I just say New Orleans.
Millions of tourists flock to the Big Easy every year to experience the craziness of Bourbon Street and hang out in the French Quarter. But there's something else tourists are doing: volunteering. In 2005, Hurricane Katrina swept through the Gulf Coast, causing the levee systems to break and destroying many areas of New Orleans as a result. It's been 11 years since Katrina took place, yet there are still pockets of the city that need help. So I'm here to do just that. I'm volunteering with Camp Restore to give back in a couple of different ways. What's great about Camp Restore is that they partner with 80 different nonprofits in the New Orleans area who all need volunteers. So there is a variety of projects you can choose from. The first thing I did was work in the lower 9th Ward. It was the neighborhood affected the most by Hurricane Katrina. So I chose a project that enlisted the help of volunteers to clean up the area, which is something everyone can do. You don't need special skills, and let's be honest, I don't have skills, so this was perfect for me to do. It's awful how much people litter. The group was led by Constance Fowler from the Master Gardeners of Greater New Orleans organization.
This is the entrance to the Lower 9 community. It's the first thing that people are seeing. It's the last thing they're seeing when they leave. My goal with this project was to get it to a place where I can open it up to the community for people who want to come and plant flowers. I've needed to work with volunteers to do more heavy work.
During my time with this project, I worked with a group of college students from Ohio who couldn't believe how devastated the neighborhood still looked.
We came down for a week mission trip and we just got in and have started our first day of service today. We're a little bit surprised at how much still has to be repaired, and we're excited to play a role in that.
Thousands of people lost everything because of Hurricane Katrina and still haven't been able to move back home. Tyra Crumity, a woman I met while working in the lower 9th, explains.
There used to be houses here, and due to Katrina, they never came back and rebuilt.
Tyra lost her home in Hurricane Katrina.
I was with my whole family. We actually stayed. First 2 days it was fine, but once the levees broke and the water came, that's when the disaster came. You know, we saw the cars, the houses, we saw like everything floating in the water. It was like the scariest feeling ever. It was like no hope. A lot of people want to come back, but they don't have the funds to buy the materials they need and to pay someone. We need the volunteers to come to help out so we can bring everybody back home.
After working on the cleanup and gardening project, I headed over to the Food Pantry of New Orleans to help get things ready for their grand opening. So we're here at the Hope Food Pantry here in New Orleans, and what we're doing today is putting together boxes of food for families to pick up tomorrow at the grand opening. I talked to Executive Director Betty Thomas, who told me why the food pantry was such a necessity for residents of NOLA.
We have all these hungry people. We have senior citizens that's on fixed incomes that's trying to choose between buying medicine or buying food. When you're a senior citizen, that should not have to be a choice that you have to make. We have about 11,000 children in the city of New Orleans. When they're not in school, they're not eating because they're not getting those free meals.
The food pantry is dedicated to serving the needs of the community, and volunteers are always welcome. If you're from out of town and want to volunteer with Camp Restore, no problem. The organization offers low-cost housing. Sunday through Thursday, it's $40 a night per person, but on Friday and Saturday, it's only $25, and that includes 3 meals a day. Seriously, where else are you going to stay for that price?
We had a very generous blessing from Tempur-Pedic mattresses.
The volunteers sleep on a better mattress than I do at home.
This is, we call this our 24-hour lounge. This is for the volunteers. We have Wi-Fi here. They can print their boarding passes.
What is the mission of Camp Restore?
It's restoring faith, home, and community to the New Orleans area. So that's been it from the beginning.
And why are you so passionate about it?
I learned from the other side. I always helped them at Christmas. I wrote a check for them, and I became them. And becoming them, I learned there are no them. It's just us. We're here together. And we do need to help. And I always say the best day of my life will be when I don't have a job, because the community will be done.
1,833 people died because of Hurricane Katrina, and 80% of New Orleans was flooded. Damages totaled $135 billion, and more than 1 million homes were damaged in the Gulf Coast. While many have been able to rebuild and come back, others have not. The number of displaced residents is still unclear, but one thing is certain: the city still needs a lot of help. So consider New Orleans for your next volunteering trip. For more information, check out camprestore.org.